Alright everybody, welcome back to another edition here of Friday Night SmackDown. How are y'all doing? My name is Dominic, of course, behind the commentary table, and we are live and sold out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, following one hell of a Survivor Series event. If you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend you go check that out. However, that man, Drew McIntyre, even though his face is typically expressing, I guess you could say, discomfort, anger, absolute raging fury, Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen, I know for a fact, is a lot happier than he was just this time last episode. Because you see, at that Survivor Series pay-per-view, Drew McIntyre finally got his hands on EC3, finally getting his revenge from all those months ago back at WrestleMania, beating the absolute hell out of EC3 inside the confines of a steel cage. And perhaps you also gotta think EC3 is not gonna be coming into our main event 100% due to that beatdown by Drew McIntyre. More on that main event in a few moments. However, right now, let me tell you what's happening to kick off the show. It's gonna be the Scottish Psychopath taking on the always unpredictable Alexander Wolf. 1/3 of Sanity. Okay, now in the last episode of SmackDown, Sanity did not particularly have a, let's just say, they didn't really have a good run. They didn't have a good go of things on that episode because all three men in Sanity were met with shattering defeats. Okay, Eric Young, he was going for the Intercontinental Championship, gunning for that title, trying to take it off of Kevin Owens before Kevin Owens' match at Survivor Series against Big E. But as you can see by the lack of a white strap around the waist of Eric Young, he was unsuccessful in that attempt at becoming the Intercontinental Champion. However, also, Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf were met with defeat, as it was a #1 contenders tag team matchup between Dane and Wolf, as they were taking on EC3 and Jackson Ryker. Both teams gunning for the SmackDown Tag Team Titles. And ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane were met with defeat, losing to the two men that will be challenging for those SmackDown Tag Team Titles later on tonight in our main event, losing to EC3 and Jackson Ryker. However, right now, Alexander Wolf, he ain't focused on the tag titles. He's not focused on EC3 and Jackson Ryker. Right now, he has to be focusing on the always dangerous Drew McIntyre. But something interesting about Drew McIntyre coming into this arena tonight that I noticed was that he had a bit of a positive energy. Okay, typically over the last few months, he's had nothing but fury and anger and just absolute, oh god, wait a second, catching him, throwing him into that suplex. Okay, he's just been absolutely pissed off over these past few months, ever since EC3 took his WWE Championship away from him back at WrestleMania. However, for the first time in what, oh wait, hold on a second, only a one count. For the first time in what seems to be a very long time, Drew McIntyre is actually coming into this one a bit happy. Okay, a bit joyful. However, right now, Alexander Wolf, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, looking to take the joy right out of the heart, right out of the soul of Drew McIntyre by trying to gain a victory on McIntyre here tonight. However, there you see the also powerful Drew McIntyre shows off that raw power, taking down Alexander Wolf. As now these two men are battling here tonight. Of course, we are hot off the heels of an amazing Survivor Series event. Oh, wait a second. Hits him there with the neck breaker, does Alexander Wolf. And now I want to turn your attention, ladies and gentlemen, to what's going to be happening directly after this matchup. Okay, we're going to be hearing from the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley. More on her situation in a little bit. As right now, Drew McIntyre just rains down the punches on Wolf. Of course, Dane and Young watching on the outside. Whenever one member of Sanity is in the ring, you can practically guarantee that the other members will be right outside along with them. However, right now, Alexander Wolf ducks underneath and catches Drew McIntyre. Look at that, catching him there. Okay, Alexander Wolf is a weird combination of both speed, agility, and raw power. As now, ladies and gentlemen, Drew McIntyre connects with a ferocious headbutt. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count there. Okay, Alexander Wolf, he's kind of a jack of all trades, but he's not the best at any particular type of wrestling and fighting style. Okay, some would argue that Alexander Wolf being good at a lot of different kinds of... Oh! A lot of different kinds of styles means that he is one of the best. However, 1, 2... No, and only a 2 count. However, somebody else would perhaps argue that if you can master one type of fighting style, then you can use that to defeat pretty much anybody. Okay, think about Brock Lesnar, his raw power and strength. Drew McIntyre, his raw striking and power ability. As right now he takes down Alexander Wolf. However, Wolf, gets taken down there once again. Okay, Drew McIntyre now perhaps using that raw size to perhaps finish him off with the Claymore kick right to the head. 1, 2, 3. Damn near taking his head off. But ladies and gentlemen, Drew McIntyre makes sure that Wolf's shoulders are planted to the mat for the 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre with a big victory to kick off this edition of SmackDown, beating Alexander Wolf. Okay, Drew McIntyre riding high off of the momentum from Survivor Series, looking to continue it here tonight, and that's exactly what he did. There you see him, Drew McIntyre, finally focusing back on his career after beating EC3. And speaking of EC3, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned it earlier. Okay, he's going to be taking part in a hellacious main event tag team matchup for the SmackDown Tag Team Titles. There you see him, Cesaro and Sheamus, the Bar, the men who beat Sanity in order to take those tag team titles home back at King of the Ring, will be defending them here tonight against the team of Jackson Ryker and EC3. However, as EC3 and Jackson Ryker gear up to challenge the Bar, let me turn your attention to what happened at Survivor Series. Here you can see in the replay. Okay, shocking the world, Sasha Banks came out here with Bayley and attacked Ember Moon while the referee was down with a steel chair, and Bayley took advantage of it, hitting a Bayley to belly. And then, well, Bayley stole the championship, the SmackDown Women's title. What does Bayley have to say in regards to that attack? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you just heard, okay, apparently Bayley's got a new look, a new attitude towards the WWE fans here tonight. It's a very different look, for a very different Bayley than I knew just a few weeks ago. Okay, when she beat Sasha Banks in order to get into that match against Ember Moon, and yet Bayley, it's changed. Her entire demeanor, her entire just presentation of who she is as a person has changed. However, ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time for some singles action, as there you see Kofi Kingston, 1/3 of the New Day, throwing pancakes, looking to have a bit of fun with this audience that was just disrespected, you could say, by Bayley. However, speaking of the New Day, of course, Big E challenging Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series, losing in that one-on-one matchup. Okay, it was a hard-fought loss by Big E. Okay, he tried his damnedest, but in the end, Kevin Owens is absolutely brutal. And as such, he beat Big E. However, Big E is not here tonight. He is currently resting, but he did tweet out something earlier today as Johnny Gargano is prepared for this matchup against Kofi Kingston. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I failed all of you at Survivor Series. My one chance to become WWE Champion, and I failed. However, I still have hope in my body, and when I return next week, I'm going to cement myself as a main event caliber superstar. So obviously Big E's still a bit hurt, still feeling a bit down following that loss against Kevin Owens. However, right now, that man Johnny Gargano has also been met with defeat against Kevin Owens. He's also put on a hard-fought matchup against Kevin, the current WWE Champion. But in the end, there you see Johnny Gargano. He's looking to gain a victory here tonight against Kofi Kingston. Now, you might be wondering, since Big E is gone, where is Xavier Woods? Well, Xavier Woods is going to be in action following this matchup. More on that later. However, right now, there you see Kofi Kingston in the blue, white, and black. Johnny Gargano, the green, black, and a bit of purple as well. These two men looking to battle each other out here tonight on SmackDown. Johnny Gargano coming into this one, perhaps the technical advantage. Kofi Kingston, some would argue, has a bit more heart than Johnny Gargano. And that's saying something, okay? Johnny Gargano, his heart is definitely one of the defining traits of his entire personality. Okay, his will to never give up. And yet Kofi Kingston gets taken right down by the heart and soul of Johnny Gargano, and mainly the boot right to the side of the head. But that's besides the point, as now a kick right to the stomach by Kofi. Goes for a snap suplex there, takes him down. One. No, and only a one count. Neither man really having too much prominence here on SmackDown. Okay, sure, Johnny Gargano, he always feels like he could be a big star. Now, wait a second. Kofi Kingston takes him down there. Okay, Johnny Gargano always feels like a bit of a big star as Kofi Kingston, oh my god, looking to burn out the star of Johnny Gargano, flying over the top there. Back crashing into the body of Johnny Gargano. That could have absolutely been devastating, but he hit the mark perfectly. And now he goes for the cover here. Off the dive. One. No, and only a one count. Okay, Johnny Gargano, he's had a few major wins over the past few years. Becoming WWE Champion, for instance, with the help of Tommaso Ciampa, of course. But that's besides the point. Johnny Gargano, however, goes after Kofi. Oh, and he gets taken down there. Okay, of course, Gargano, former tag team champion as well. Kofi Kingston and the New Day, however, their big defining feature, their big defining matchup could have been when Big E were to, well, have won the WWE Championship, but of course he didn't, as now Kofi Kingston, oh my god, again flying to the outside there. Kofi Kingston perhaps looking to make this matchup another defining match in his career. Okay, throwing caution to the wind. Perhaps both men coming into this one thinking that they are a bit underutilized. Okay, we haven't really seen too much of them over the past few months. Besides, of course, that Big E matchup against Kevin Owens. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count following the spear through the rope. As right now, oh, Kofi Kingston with a big forearm strike to Johnny. As now, oh wait, once again trying to go for a running corner attack. but he gets caught. Getting caught there with the very quick punches right to the gut. As Kofi Kingston's on fire here tonight. This time, however, decided not to dive to the outside, but instead he goes outside to dive onto Johnny Gargano with the Hurricane Rana. As Kofi Kingston looking very impressive here tonight. Okay, typically Johnny Gargano, some would argue, would perhaps make quick work of Kofi. 1-2, no. Okay, that's no slash to Kofi Kingston. He's an incredible performer. However, Johnny Gargano, some would argue, is a lot better. However, right now, Kofi Kingston's definitely wrestling circles around him right now, seemingly having an answer for everything. Perhaps that Big E loss fueled the New Day, as right now, oh, there you see, takes him down. The cover, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Okay, that big loss by Big E perhaps fueling the New Day here tonight. We might see something similar in Xavier Woods' match in a few moments following this one. However, right now, Johnny Gargano, he's trying to put a stop to it, trying to fight back and forth. Here we go between these two men, as now Gargano having the strike advantage. However, right now, Kofi Kingston trying to get the upper hand once again with the kicks right to the lower leg. Kicks him right in the stomach. And now, oh, he bounces off the top rope. Goes for a running clothesline. Gargano moves out of the way at the last possible second, moving out of the way of that as well. The leaping clothesline. However, oh god, wait a second. Gargano, out of nowhere, wrenching on Kofi Kingston, wrenching on his head, on his neck. Trying to tap him out, the Gargano escape, locked in deep. However, Kofi, oh wait a second, gets out of it, but you gotta think that Gargano escape might have just been the turning point in this matchup for Gargano. However, right now, Kofi Kingston, he's just trying to continue the fight. Okay, if he can continue the offense, then Gargano perhaps can take advantage of that Gargano escape. As now, big forearm. Oh, and again, another spear. Driving through Kofi Kingston, perhaps 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Kofi Kingston now not looking too good. As Gargano goes for a kick. Kofi Kingston strikes back. European uppercut connecting. Trouble in paradise out of nowhere. 1, 2. He's got him here, or perhaps not. As Johnny Gargano now not looking too good following that trouble in paradise. However, Kofi Kingston, he ain't done. New Day. Oh, boom drop, but nobody home, crashing down hard. Right on the middle of the ring there, as Johnny Gargano now trying to take advantage. Ducks underneath. Oh, with the Insta-Guri right there, right to the side of the head. Once again, here on Kofi Kingston, and then the kicks. Oh god, and there you see Gargano perhaps getting a little bit annoyed. Okay, kicking out of the trouble in paradise, but perhaps he's going for a kick of his own. The DIY super kick connecting right to the jaw of Kofi Kingston, and the cover now by Gargano. 1, 2. No, and he kicks out! Okay, Gargano kicking out of the trouble in paradise. Kofi Kingston kicking out of that DIY super kick. Even after the Gargano escape, I thought it was going to be over. But it seems as though Gargano still hasn't put away Kofi Kingston. Very back and forth between these two men. They're fighting as though they hate each other, but I can guarantee you there's respect between both men. But right now, they just want to prove which one is better. Superplex connecting into a bit of a Falcon Arrow. Off the top, and there you see Kofi Kingston's down. And oh god, wait a second, Kofi kips up. I don't know what the hell has gotten into him, but he did it. As now Kofi throws him into the corner now, Gargano. Okay, after a Falcon Arrow off the top turnbuckle, Kofi Kingston drop kick connecting. Ducks underneath. Oh, and there you see the mushroom stomp there. And now goes for the cover. Here we go. Kofi Kingston 1, 2, feeding off the energy, but it does not lead to a victory. Not just yet anyways, as Gargano gets up. And there you see Gargano. Okay, trying to pop his shoulder a bit here. As now, wait a second, now it's, oh god, Kofi Kingston counters that last maneuver as Gargano rolls to the outside. He climbs up. As now, Kofi Kingston now gets taken down. Roll up victory wraps. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. And now he goes for a kick, but Kofi Kingston now reverses, catching him there. Both men catching each other here tonight over and over again. Oh, he goes for another kick. However, now Gargano turns him around, seems to have something in mind. Instead, he gets a punch right to the face. And now Kofi, oh wait a second, SOS into the roll-up. 1, 2, 3, and he's done it. Kofi Kingston with that roll-up SOS gets the job done. But my God, both men incredibly back and forth. Okay, of course, these two men have a lot of heart and determination, a never say die mentality, but you gotta admit, okay, perhaps stealing the show here tonight, Kofi Kingston and Johnny Gargano. Okay, they did not come into this one with any sort of hatred between them, but then again, ladies and gentlemen, okay, it's the competition factor you gotta remember between these two men. That's what drives them here in the WWE. All about competition. In the end, Kofi Kingston wins this one, even after taking a Falcon Arrow off the top turnbuckle, and then just getting up, feeling the energy, riding this wave, this high here tonight. And there you see Kofi Kingston riding perhaps an even bigger high. And of course, Big E watching this at home, he's got to be loving this sight. Kofi Kingston gets the job done here tonight against Johnny Gargano. What? Well, okay then. It seems as though after defeating EC3 in a steel cage match, after defeating Alexander Wolf earlier on tonight, Drew McIntyre wants to turn his attention back to the WWE Championship. He wants to turn his attention to Kevin Owens, the current top superstar here on SmackDown, and there's really no two ways about it. The current Intercontinental and WWE Champion himself, Kevin Owens, who will be battling that man, 1/3 of the New Day, Xavier Woods, in a few moments. But Kevin Owens now, he's just been handed with the situation. Now he's been handed with the idea of facing off against Drew McIntyre. Well, I don't know if Kevin Owens will have an answer for him. However, right now, he's going to have to answer to Xavier Woods. Of course, Kevin Owens, as I just mentioned, both the WWE and Intercontinental Champion, defeating Big E at Survivor Series, as I mentioned earlier during Kofi Kingston's matchup. Xavier Woods right now, will he follow in the footsteps of Kofi Kingston, or will he follow in the footsteps of Big E? That's the question, ladies and gentlemen, as there you see the WWE Champion, the Intercontinental Champion, the ultimate prize fighter, Owens 2 belts, as he decided to call himself, wearing a t-shirt that said just that. Kevin Owens making his way to the ring. Will he be able to defeat Xavier Woods just like he beat Big E? Or will, shockingly enough, Xavier Woods get the job done. And I say shockingly enough, but you gotta remember Xavier Woods, he is still pretty good in that ring, okay? Do not discount Xavier Woods. However, Kevin Owens, I mean, he's just been on this absolute tear, punishing everybody who stands in his way. Daniel Bryan, Big E, and perhaps here tonight, Xavier Woods. As the bell rings, here we go. Woods wearing the blue, white, and black attire, similar to Kofi Kingston's just a few moments ago, as he's facing off against that man, Kevin Owens, who's just absolutely disrespecting him here with the strikes. Talking a bit of smack towards him here. But instead he gets taken down there by Xavier Woods as the dive to the outside. It seems as though he's hurt enough from Kevin Owens. As right now, Xavier Woods throws Owens back into the ring. Of course, Kevin Owens, during his match against Big E, attacked both Woods and Kofi Kingston on the outside as Woods comes in with an attack of his own. One. No, and only a 1 count. Okay, a dive to the outside followed by a drop kick off the top rope, a missile drop kick. However, right now, it seems as though Kevin Owens, with fists like missiles, looking to absolutely wreak havoc on Xavier Woods. And there you see Kevin Owens, the unbridled punishment once again on display here on SmackDown. Taunting the crowd, talking a bit of smack, showing off a bit perhaps not really thinking of Xavier Woods as a threat. However, right now he should be, as Woods throws him into the corner now. After getting a few punches right to the face, right to the stomach, seems as though he hits him with another punch now. And then he grabs him, hits him there with the DDT off the middle turnbuckle. However, he goes for a kick. He goes for a clothesline, however, does Kevin Owens. He catches the foot, however. Oh! As now it's Xavier Woods who gets a boot right to the head there. Fast-paced action between both men. As Owens gets thrown to the corner once again. But Xavier Woods gets met with a kick right to the gut. As now Kevin Owens drops Xavier Woods right on the back of his head. And as the WWE and Intercontinental Champion is in action right now, just remember this, ladies and gentlemen, we still got the SmackDown Tag Team Titles on the line in our main event. As now, wait a second, Hurricane Rana, wait a second, he's got him here, roll up perhaps 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Of course, the SmackDown Tag Team Titles on the line following this matchup. However, right now, we're focusing on who will be able to get the victory as there once again. Okay, Xavier Woods taking some inspiration, you could say, from the variety of fighting games that he has known to play in his spare time. As now, ladies and gentlemen, Xavier Woods is in a fight and he knows it with that powerbomb right to the outside. Absolutely brutal there. But now, Xavier Woods seems to have something in mind here. Shouting out New Day right now. And he connects with the clothesline. Okay, the honor roll connecting. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count, flipping into it. However, as you just saw, Kevin Owens rolls over to the side, getting the shoulder up. Goes for a kick right to the gut, however. Xavier Woods goes to catch him here, but now it's Kevin Owens who catches him. As Owens now throws him across the ring, and then again. There you see the punishment with the clothesline. Oh, God, but as you just saw, okay, Xavier Woods going for a running attack. He just falls down hard. However, he just gets up, and perhaps it's Woods now who shows the heart of the New Day. But instead, here we go. Kevin Owens looking to put a stop to it with the punches right to the face. And now he goes for a running attack. However, oh God, Xavier Woods' last possible moment moves out of the way there. As Woods stuck in the corner. But now Xavier Woods gets out of it, putting Kevin Owens on the top turnbuckle here. Woods seems to have something in mind here. Owens not looking too good. Oh God, but wait a second. Wait a second. Kevin Owens gets out of that predicament, and there you just saw Xavier Woods crashing hard from the middle turnbuckle all the way to the mat. As Kevin Owens now, what in the hell does he have in mind here? No. Pop-up power bomb. Absolutely brutal. God damn, just go for the cover. God damn it. Come on. Of course, the cockiness of Owens, typically put on display. It seems though he's not done. No. Package pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Pop-up powerbomb package pile driver combination. Damn near impossible to kick out of, as you just saw, with Xavier Woods here tonight, unable to get the job done against Kevin Owens. And well, after that victory, there you see Kevin Owens celebrating here tonight. Well, as you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though next week is gonna be one hell of an episode of SmackDown back-to-back championship main events. It's gonna be Kevin Owens taking on Drew McIntyre. Sure, not for the WWE title as Drew McIntyre initially wanted, but instead it's gonna be Kevin Owens defending his Intercontinental Championship against the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. But that's not all, okay? Next week is going to be one hell of an edition of the Blue Brand. You're not going to want to miss it. Aleister Black, the man who beat The Undertaker at Survivor Series in that pay-per-view main event, will be taking on Big E. Will Big E cement himself as a main event superstar, or will Aleister Black make him fade to black? Also, next week, Jeff Hardy. We haven't seen him since King of the Ring at the Hardy compound. Jeff Hardy will be making his return to Friday nights. What will Jeff Hardy do? What will he have to say? There's only one way to find out. Tune in next week. Jeff Hardy, the charismatic enigma, coming back to SmackDown. 1%. However, now it's time for our main event of the evening. Okay, next week, the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line. Tonight, it's going to be the Tag Team Titles. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line. EC3, there you see him. He's taped up, he's hurt, he's bruised following his match against Drew McIntyre. However, tonight, he's going to be teaming up with Jackson Ryker. Of course, EC3 purchasing the services of Jackson Ryker, his current employer, a few months ago when he was WWE Champion. And tonight, EC3 is looking to use the services of Jackson Ryker to accompany his partner in becoming SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But that is not going to be easy, as he, alongside Ryker, is going to have one hell of a challenge ahead of him. Okay, because they're going to be going up against Sheamus, against Cesaro, against the current SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Bar, and it's not going to be easy. Of course, The Bar returning as a duo back at King of the Ring, and in that matchup, when Cesaro returned to in-ring competition, he was awarded alongside Sheamus with the SmackDown Tag Team titles, defeating Sanity. And tonight, both men are looking to defeat EC3 and Jackson Ryker. Of course, EC3 and Ryker won their way into this matchup after beating Sanity last week in a match that I've heard some argue backstage, was more down to Jackson Ryker's in-ring work than EC3. Of course, we saw EC3. He didn't really do too much in that matchup. He let Jackson Ryker do most of the handiwork. Okay, because EC3, he had a lot on his mind going into that number one contenders match. Of course, Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series, definitely the focal point in his mind in that steel cage fight. But in the end, EC3, he let Jackson Ryker do most of the work, and they ended up winning that matchup in order to get here tonight in a fight against the Bar. The SmackDown Tag Team Titles on the line as Sheamus and Cesaro are looking to successfully defend their championships. Okay, one of the top prizes for any tag team in the world here tonight on SmackDown, represented by the Bar, proving right now that they are the best tag team on SmackDown. However, we're going to see if EC3 and Jackson Ryker can lay claim to the best duo on SmackDown. Oh God! As now, there you see a brutal headbutt to kick off the matchup by Sheamus, as now Jackson Ryker won. No, and only a 1 count there. The raw power of Jackson Ryker immediately being put on display. Of course, you gotta think that Jackson Ryker has been preparing for this matchup ever since EC3 and Ryker won on the last episode of SmackDown. Okay, we didn't see Jackson Ryker alongside EC3 in that steel cage matchup. Instead, perhaps EC3 decided to let Jackson Ryker train a bit more for this fight, knowing that he was potentially going to come into this one very hurt. And as you see right there on the shoulder of EC3, he is definitely not 100%. But right now, Jackson Ryker is doing a damn good job of beating the hell out of Sheamus. But you got to think that Cesaro, he is just waiting to somehow get into this fight. As there you see Ryker, as Sheamus in the corner, makes the tag to EC3. The top 1% himself. Oh God, with a brutal elbow backbreaker combination by the team, turning it into a fist right to the face of Sheamus. And now there you see talking a bit of smack the ego of EC3, always prevalent within his matches. As right now, Cesaro watches Sheamus. Oh God. Counters the cutter, and there you see EC3 immediately running into that tag, and there you see, very similar to what we saw in that number one contenders match. EC3, any opportunity that the opposing team has to get some sort of offense in on him, he immediately runs away like the coward that he is, using Jackson Ryker, his paid employee, his bodyguard here on SmackDown. Okay, tagging out to Ryker, but there you see Ryker takes down Sheamus, hitting him with that elbow right to the back. And as you can see, Jackson Ryker, very devastating. Okay, it's practically impossible to keep that man down. No wonder he gets paid such a high amount. And I'm not gonna talk salary, okay? I don't want to disrespect Jackson Ryker. Just know that it's a pretty penny that EC3 pays him. However, right now, Sheamus, bounces Ryker's head off the turnbuckle. And right now, it seems as though that, quote, pretty penny maybe getting a little bit more bruised, a little bit more battered here. As right now, Jackson Ryker gets taken down. Okay, a duel of kicks right to the gut, taking down the big man. However, there you see the Swiss Superman himself, Cesaro, battling now against Jackson as he goes for another punch. However, instead he gets met with that forearm strike. And now, oh, wait a second. Here we go, European uppercut there. Of course, you love to see it. The master of the European uppercut is Cesaro. The Swiss Superman taking down Jackson Ryker. Okay, he's got an immense amount of power, as you see there, with another European uppercut. And the cover now, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Okay, he's got an immense amount of power and strength. However, ladies and gentlemen, so does Ryker. As Ryker gets up, he goes to pick him up, takes him down their sidewalk slam. Sheamus watching on the outside, EC3 doing the same in the opposing corner as Cesaro gets taken down. Okay, the Bar haven't really done too much here on SmackDown since returning as a duo. Okay, they won the tag team titles in Cesaro's return match, sure, but ever since then, they haven't really done too much. And right now, Jackson Ryker, oh my God, just jumps Cesaro down to the mat. Oh God, and then he goes after Sheamus, but Sheamus counters there with a battering ram. And now there you see Sheamus. Oh God, wait a second, seems to have something in mind here. Oh, there you see that 10. The 10 beats now. Okay, we've seen that over and over again within every Sheamus matchup, taking down EC3, as now Jackson Ryker gets taken down with the neutralizer by Cesaro. And the cover now. They could just retain their titles here. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count there. However, right now, Jackson, he gets up following the neutralizer almost immediately. I don't even know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's fighting right now, but he is. Headbutt there. The skulls colliding, but Cesaro still fighting. Connecting there with another running European uppercut there, a trademark by Cesaro with the European uppercuts over and over again. However, now again the headbutt by Ryker, getting out of it, throwing Cesaro into the corner. And then a chop to the chest for good measure. And then there you see, of course, EC3 only coming in whenever Jackson Ryker does all the dirty work. Whenever, oh God, the opposing team just can't seem to catch a break. Instead, Cesaro catches a boot right to the side of the head. Oh God, he tries to catch him there. Okay, a lot of catching right now, but instead, oh, it's now EC3 throwing Cesaro down to the mat. Going for the back suplex, changes his mind mid-maneuver, face first goes Cesaro. However, right now, it's EC3's face that's getting some punishment with the punches, with the uppercut. And now, Cesaro seems to have something in mind. Oh, bounces off again and connects. However, there you see EC3 gets up. EC3 gets up and takes him down. And then EC3, oh God, with not just 1, but 2 punches to Sheamus once again, trying to keep the man down. As EC3 looks to take advantage here. Connects with the TKO! The TKO and Cesaro! We might have new champions! 1, 2, no! And only a 2 count, getting the shoulder up. And Cesaro still in the fight, not entirely sure how. However, right now he is. There you see. He's catching him now. EC3 bounces off the ropes. Oh God, and then crashes hard. Crashing hard there, ladies and gentlemen, as you just saw. As now Cesaro, oh wait a second, seems to have something in mind here. Not entirely sure. And he connects. He connects with the suplex, taking him down there. Sheamus still down on the outside following those punches. But Cesaro, he's doing a hell of a good job here fighting by himself against Jackson Ryker and EC3 as he throws Ryker to the outside. EC3 looking to take advantage, however, and he does. As there you see Sheamus gets up, he wants the tag. But Cesaro gets up, throws him into the corner, makes the tag. And now, oh, wait a second. Oh God, EC3 with the assisted bro kick by the bar. We saw that at King of the Ring. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, Sheamus and Cesaro retain the SmackDown Tag Team Titles. Okay, hitting EC3 with the very same maneuver that won them the championships back at King of the Ring with that assisted bro kick. It got the job done then, and it got the job done tonight. Cesaro and Sheamus once again proving that they set and are the bar for tag team wrestling here on SmackDown. But I'll have to admit it, EC3 clearly not 100% coming into this one. Clearly hurt following that hellacious steel cage fight against Drew McIntyre. But do not let that take away from the Bar's victory here tonight. They are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions still, as we close out this edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Thank you very much for watching.